Kyle Klingman with Flow Wrestling. Our guest is Emma Chacon. She just won Super 32 at 132 pounds. She's got the belt. How did it feel to get that belt wrapped around you, Emma?
It was like very unbelievable. Like in the moment, I think I was just in shock that it actually happened. So I didn't fully like take it in at the time. But honestly, now I'm kind of just like, wow, I did that. You know what I mean?
One of your teammates who popped in before this, Everest Lidecker, also has about. She likes to show that stuff off and wear it around and do her thing. What do you do
Yes.
with it?
I mean, I remember when Everest won, she wore it to school the next week. For the next week, she wore her belt. Um, Me personally, I mean, I got my pictures in with everybody, but that's about it. I think my belt's just sitting at home right now.
When did this come on your radar, the drive to win Super 32? Because this is a big tournament to win. When did you know this is something you wanted to accomplish?
I've always wanted to win Super 32s. Like that's always been a goal of mine. But I think it hit me at Fargo after losing in the Bloods. I was like, I need to prove not only to myself but to everyone else that like I can do this. I know I shouldn't have lost in the Bloods. It was a tough match, honestly, but I did avenge myself in the semis for that match at Fargo. So
Take us through the tournament. What did you like? You did have some tough matches that you had to grind out. When you look back at it, just evaluate what you accomplished in your mind.
a couple of those matches, I was ahead and then I gave up some points. I remember I think it was my quarters match against the number two seed. I was up, I think the whole match, I was up 5-1. And I think last second she got a takedown and a couple turns. And so I knew that I had to get another takedown. So she got the turn. I reversed her for my one, but I had two 1 point moves. So I knew I had to get another turn. So I locked up a high gut and I took her over. That match, honestly, everybody, when I came back, they were like, oh my gosh, you had me so scared that match. And I was like, I know I was scared too. But honestly, just keeping my composure, knowing for me that I could do it, honestly, was just the biggest thing, my confidence.
Let's talk about your semifinal match, Naima Gafar. You had lost her twice this year, and then you got your revenge match. Talk about that, how you learned from those two matches, and how you were able to win that.
At women's nationals, I honestly, that wasn't my best match. I will admit it. I got a takedown on her. I went to go turn her and I got stuck on my back and pinned. Fargo, I lost to her, I believe 8-4. And after I had won my quarters match, I had gone to Kayla and I was like, Kayla, I lost this girl twice this year. And then Kayla was like, okay. And we watched the match, we went over it. We kind of, I don't want to say game planned because we didn't really game plan. She was just telling me, this is a winnable match for you. She just told me to tweak a couple things, forward pressure instead of backing up, a lot of snaps, fakes, setting up my shots, stuff like that.
And then you won 6-2 in the finals. We talked about just that feeling of getting the belt, but just in that moment when you win, how did that feel?
Honestly, right before, it was a very last second. She shot in on me. I took her over, and then she ended up on top. And honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen because her corner threw in the brick, and I wasn't sure if I had taken her over and gotten the two. So if I didn't do that, um, and they won the challenge, then she was going to win the match. So I was kind of like hoping that they didn't reverse the call. And after they didn't, I was just like, I was relieved, very relieved, but I was also like excited. I honestly had so many emotions throughout the whole tournament, and especially during that match. Looking at my coach, Kayla was in my corner, Larkin was in my corner. They were just telling me to breathe, like
Rank this so far. You're a junior in high school. Is this your biggest accomplishment so far?
definitely, yeah. I haven't performed to the best of my abilities throughout my high school career, but I think this tournament I really just turned it on and I knew in myself that I could do it. So
Valiant prep. high school is where you attend. There's so many names there. Helen Maroulis, Kayla Miracle that you mentioned, Angel Cejudo, Michaela Beck, Everest Lidecker, Morgan Lucio. You can go on down the line. How has that built you into who you are today?
I think just having them in the room, like in a way, it makes you work harder for what you want. You know what I mean? Like just having those names in the room, like you said, Helen Lewis, even Michaela Beck, who I think is here right now as well. Just having them in the room, it kind of pushes you because you want to like compete with them. So just having them there, you kind of push yourself a little bit harder.
And then also Reagan Mathers, there were three Valiant Prep members go to who's number one. When you see that, is that motivating for you?
Yes, it is because I know what I can do on the mat, and I'm seeing the accomplishments of my teammates. And honestly, it's I love to um, I love to see them accomplish things, and so seeing them do that, it just makes me want it even more because I know I can do it.
When did you know going to Valiant Prep was the right move for you?
When I first joined here, I was in seventh grade. I did not want to come here because I was like, Mom, it's not a regular school. It's all wrestling. But honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way now. I could not, I don't think I could handle going to a regular high school.
So it took a little talking into to get you to go?
Definitely. Actually, it was, I did my seventh and eighth grade year. And then my parents were like, do you want to go to a regular high school? Um, and so we kind of had that discussion. And so they decided to hold me back. Just that 1 year to kind of decide. That was kind of our deciding factor. Like, are you going to stay at Valiant for your high school career, or are you going to go to a normal high school and try to win a state championship and stuff like that?
Take us through the day to day for you. So you go to class, and then when you go to practice, what does that look like for you? Who are you training with, and how are you getting the best out of yourself?
So after school, we end school at 12:45. We practice. Practice ends at 2:45 most days. Um, I either practice with Morgan, Everest, Brooklyn Perez, who was also at the 132 weight class. Those I would say were my main partners. Like when we go live, we'll spar, switch partners and stuff like that. I'll jump in with Reagan and Jayciana Beltran. I just all of the girls really we um, move around a lot. A lot of practices we don't stay with the same partner. We'll do like our main drilling with one partner, and then we'll like spar drill with the rest of the partners. Um, and then Mondays is like our light day. Coming back from the week, we do light day Monday, no live, and then the rest of the week. Like yesterday, we went live top bottom. We went live on our feet. Today was more light because the boys are going to P&L this weekend, so we were kind of just on our own. It was more like an open mat today. So it kind of just depends on like the situation.
What does it feel like to improve like that? Because it does seem like improvement happens faster when you're in an environment like that. What does that feel for you?
Honestly, the improvement comes from our like I don't want to say from our coaches because it does come from us, but they do tweak us like very little, but it's like the very basics. Like Angel is very big on like you figure this out by yourself. Like he doesn't want to give us the answer to everything because then we're gonna just do the same thing every time. So we do a lot of play wrestling and flow wrestling to kind of figure that out. He says figure it out by yourself because you're not gonna get in the same position every single time. So and that's also why we switch partners a lot because not everybody gives the same feel.
You have gone to, I think, at least one college open, maybe a couple. What did you gain from that?
Honestly, wrestling with like older girls, I know it's like kind of like cliche to say, but like they do have give you a different feel. They are stronger. They're I want to say like a little bit more athletic, but like honestly, competing with them is nice because I can't compete in the state of Arizona with high schoolers. We have to compete somewhere. But honestly, just doing that, getting the feel for it before I'm even in college, I think puts us all at an advantage above the rest of the girls.
You haven't taken the traditional high school path. You've gone down the Valiant prep path, but do you feel like being around this, being around these high level people, do you feel like it changes you in some way?
Oh, definitely. Like, I feel like, especially with Kayla, like we're around her all day. She works here, she coaches us. Um, just being around them, like their mentalities are a lot different than most people's, and around the people that are at normal high schools and stuff like that. So I think it's just like a blessing in disguise that we ended up here, me and my brother, with all of these people.
Go way back. When did you know you wanted to start wrestling?
My parents got my brother into wrestling first. He's like a year and a half younger than me, and I would go into practices with them, and I would just be doing my homework and stuff. I was 9 years old at the time, and I was like, Mom, I want to try this. And my mom was like, absolutely not. You are not wrestling. My daughter is not wrestling. Um, I think one of the coaches' wives at the club that we were at back then, she was like, just let her try one practice, see if she likes it. And after that, I loved it, and I just kept going from there.
When you finally got involved, did you know right away that I'm going to stay with this? I'm not going to go down other sports. This is it for me.
Definitely, because I want to say not the most athletic person there is. I have terrible hand-eye coordination, so every other sport I've ever done was not good at it. I tried wrestling. On it took a while to like start taking it more serious, but I think that's the beauty of it. You don't have to like when you're younger take it as serious, but once you know, put your foot on the gas and you're like really committed.
How do you do that though? I've heard that narrative before where maybe someone's not as athletic but can find a drive in wrestling to overcome that. How are you able to do that?
A lot of training. We train a lot. So 5 days out of the week, so Monday through Friday. We train here at Valiant for 2 hours. And then Mondays and Wednesdays, I practice with Adrian. He's a great coach. I love coming to Adrian's practices. He's very different from Angel in the sense that he will get on me if I'm not doing something right. So I like that aspect of it. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go and work out with the trainer, also with Brooklyn and my brother. So I think just all of that combined, and then recovering on the weekends is a big thing, just to not wear myself out. But I think the biggest part of that is training and kind of conditioning yourself to like do stuff.
So with a school like this where wrestling's a focal point, is it all wrestling all the time? Is that what the conversations are most of the time?
Most of the time, yes, because like the kids, they'll talk about like the senior level athletes and like all the tournaments going on. And so it's like the center of it, but there's also like the different groups. Like we talk about going out, hanging out, stuff like that outside of school. But for the most part, it is wrestling.
What's your level of interest? Are you following all the senior worlds, age level worlds? Does that interest you?
I do follow along, but to a certain extent. I do like watching wrestling, but like as for me, I won't go back and like watch film on myself. I just feel like if it's there, it's there, but um I do like watching other people wrestle. So,
So
yeah.
take us through that. So when Everest is in the gold medal match, are you guys pulling that up on television at school and watching it?
Yeah, actually the whole school we went out to the cafeteria outside and the whole school watched her match. So it was really cool.
That had to be fun. I mean, what was the reaction when she won the gold medal? Was it pretty exciting?
Yes, the whole school was there and we were all just yelling. Like that's the kind of environment that like we are like we get so excited for each other. Like it's just very I it's um I love it here. Yeah.
Talk about environment. Arizona's done some great things. You have Everest, and then you also have Audrey Jimenez. There's been some great
Yes.
things happening with Arizona. One of the people behind that is David Pastoriza. Has he ever embarrassed you at a wrestling tournament?
David is probably the most embarrassing person I know. I've known David since I started wrestling, so he knows everything about me. My parents hang out with him all the time, so he definitely has some stuff on me, if that's what you're looking for.
Well, what I'm wondering though is Carly Brooks, who's from Arizona, she
Yes.
has been so embarrassed
Sorry.
that when she goes to tournament, she avoids him. Where are you in that? Are you avoiding him or you like seeing him?
No, me and David are really cool. Like, as I've said, I've known him for like ever, and like we hang out with them a lot. We go to their house all the time, and so I've kind of just gotten used to the embarrassment. It's just kind of like, oh, you're around David, you're gonna get embarrassed no matter what. So it's just kind of something you get used to with time. As like for me, at least.
Do you have a top embarrassment moment that he's pulled up on you?
He will scream my name so loud sometimes, but like he does it in like a certain voice. Sorry. That like I don't know. I find it embarrassing. Someone else might not find it embarrassing, but I find it embarrassing. And he does know stuff about me. Like he'll call me by my nickname that my parents have called me for like ever. So like he knows all that stuff. He has baby pictures of like all of his girls, like just all kinds of stuff.
So are you going to share with us your nickname?
It's not really like an embarrassing nickname. My parents call me Emma Lou, and so he'll just say that, but like emphasize the Lou part and like super loud. Yes.
How about after high school? Do you want to wrestle in college?
Yes, that has always been a goal of mine. Like I've always known that I wanted to go to college, and then once I started wrestling, I was like, yeah, I want to wrestle in college. And so like now that I'm a junior, it's becoming more evident to me like, oh, this is something that's going to happen. Like I'm going to go wrestle in college.
How are you going to make that decision? There's a lot of options. Options are being added all the time. Are you looking at what's out there already?
I have looked at a few schools. My main focus as for wrestling or like the school that I'm going to choose is going to be academics. So like do they have what I want academic wise? Because either way I'm going to wrestle in college no matter what. So I want to look for something more long term. Like what am I going to study? Or do they have what I want? Stuff like that.
So we're looking at potentially adding some Ivy League schools. I know Columbia's talked about it. Brown, is that what you're thinking about with trying to look for a college?
Honestly, if they have what I want, like if they have a good medical program, that's kind of like what I'm looking towards. If they have that, then like scholarship wise, do they offer academic scholarships, athletic scholarships, stuff like that?
It's all wrestling all the time at Valiant, but what do you like to do for fun? What drives you off the mat?
Honestly, I like hanging out with my friends and family. My brother just had a baby, so I love hanging out with them. Um, my parents, I love hanging out with my mom. I know that sounds kind of weird, but my mom's like one of my best friends, so I hang out with her all the time. Hanging out with my friends outside of school, stuff like that. Like we go fishing sometimes, to the lake, Lake Pleasant, stuff like that. It has been really fun outside of wrestling.
Tell us about your mom. If she was one of your best friends, Deb, what's the best part about your mom?
She supports me in everything I do. She takes me to practice. She takes me to the gym when I need to cut weight. She buys all the food. She makes it, meal preps, packs our lunches. So she does everything for me. And then outside of that, we hang out all the time. We'll go to the store. I'll go grocery shopping with her. So like I'm just kind of like her little mini best friend that she pays for everything for. Yeah.
When she's in the stands, what kind of mom is she? Can you hear her in the stands?
Yes, I always tell her, Mom, stop yelling. Like I don't like it, but she will yell so loud that I can hear her all the way across the arena. I'm just, but I honestly, I say I don't like it. I tell her that I don't like it because it embarrasses me a little bit, but I honestly like having her support there.
Okay, so it has to come to a head. Who embarrasses you more? Who yells louder, David Pastoriza or
Oh,
Mom Deb?
I say embarrassment wise, definitely David. Sorry. because he tries to embarrass me. My mom just kind of is there, and it's more of like a supportive scream. David's is more like a, oh, I want to embarrass you right now because I know you don't like it kind of scream.
Sorry.